What's up, brothers? In today's video, we are gonna go over two big differences in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. A lot of us are excited for the game due to its inspiration and similarities to Smash, but we also want to go over the differences. So that's something we're gonna do in this video. I'll give my first impressions, pros, cons, how I think it could impact the game, and so on. Also, at the very end of the video, it will be something that I do a lot in Smash games that are actually removed that, who knows, maybe could impact me very badly. A lot of muscle memory gone over the years, so make sure to stay until the very end so you get to catch that final little detail as well. But yeah, let's dig into the gameplay breakdown video. Change number 1. The change to digital inputs from analog inputs. Smash is known for its analog movement inputs. Without getting too technical, analog basically means that the control stick you use for movement has access to a very large number of values, or simply put, directions. If you were to compare an analog stick to a clock, it would mean just about every hour and minute of the circle is available to you as a movement option. Digital inputs, on the other hand, means your control stick is limited to far less angles. Going back to the clock example, your movement would be limited to 12, 3, 6, and 9. With one additional input in the middle of each one of these numbers. Digital input means simply that the movement is more limited. In the case of Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, you have access to 8 total directions. In other words, you can only move your character in these 8 directions. This is a big change from traditional Smash games. As we can see in this Discord message from one of the game developers, Nickelodeon could only allow for 8 directions because of another big factor. Personally, I have no idea what this factor could be, but I clearly want to know. How does this change things overall? For example, in Melee, you have access to a huge amount of wave dash directions. In Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, you only have 3 types of wave dash angles. This will likely be wave dash down, wave dash diagonal, and wave dash horizontal. Looking at it from a melee perspective, I don't think this change would actually change too much unless you made a character with a very long wave dash, such as like Luigi. It also could affect your ability to DI since you have less angles available, which indirectly would make DI an easier technique to perfect since you have less angles to choose from. Walking also wouldn't really be possible at all, so you would limit movement even further. Nickelodeon developer states in this Discord message, "I've said this a few times, but I'll say it again. I initially strongly disliked this game's choice to go digital instead of analog, because I was so used to the analog inputs involved. By learning how to craft the game around it, it was and is a fun challenge, and I've really learned to enjoy it. I fully expect many people to think the choice is odd at first, because the game does a lot of new things and doesn't follow all the platform fighter conventions. Heck, it won't be for everyone. Regardless, prioritizing accessibility was this game's focus, and if that ends up making it have less depth in certain respects, then that's just a trade-off we had to make." To me, this sounds more than likely that this point towards the decision being something the developers possibly had little control over. This might be due to the game being cross-console, maybe it's easier for different controllers across each platform being usable. Also common for companies to make games more accessible to have a higher chance to get more sales. Fighting games have a little bit of this reputation being a little bit too hard for many casuals, so maybe these type of changes will make more people, how do you say, inclined buying the game? I don't know, but I mean, we clearly have seen this type of line of thinking from Nintendo with Smash games as well, so it wouldn't really surprise me at all. Change number 2. The next big difference is connected to the previous point about digital inputs, and that is that there is no fast falling in Nickelodeon. Fast falling has been a feature in every Smash game for years. It's particularly important for speed and allows you to link certain aerials into a combo you wouldn't normally be able to do otherwise. But in this game, it doesn't exist. Instead of fast falling, you will have to input air dash down to do something that resembles a fast fall, but is honestly still quite different. This could change things in a number of ways. For example, how optimally you could position yourself while you try to continue the combo. How good or bad this ends up being is hard to say before you actually get to test the game, but I'm trying to keep myself open-minded towards this. We can also conclude that there will be no L cancelling in Nickelodeon the way we know it. This is very different from not just Smash games like Melee and PM/P+, but it's actually different from even Slap City, a game in which both fast falling and L cancelling in the form of dash cancelling were present. We also know that accessibility was stated by the developer earlier, which is important to remember as an argument against L cancel. It's also worth mentioning that while air dashing might sort of mimic L cancelling, it's not exactly the same, because it has been confirmed that every time you land from an air dash, you will incur 10 frames of landing lag, which is the same as a wave land in Melee. From this, we can infer that every time you want to air dash into landing from an aerial, you will incur 10 frames of landing lag if you decide to air dash. So it might be better to not fast fall sometimes? We're not sure. At the same time, every aerial followed by an air dash down would presumably incur the same amount of landing lag. This could be significant if aerials don't have universal landing lag, but it may also slow down the game due to air dash's landing lag. We don't know, but maybe air dashing won't even be used often after aerials. Will players spend more time grounded, or maybe more time higher in the air? It's hard to say for sure at this point since we haven't played the game. Remember that the air dash down movement and diagonally down is significantly faster than air dashing in other directions. Remember that air dashing in this game is not at all the same as air dodging, since it grants no frames of invincibility and is purely a movement tool. So what do I think about all of this? Alright, let's divide this into the 4 main things we have talked about. So first, in terms of air dashes in general, I do think air dashes could be very interesting in terms of sharking. What I mean with this is that in Smash games, you always have people, above you, they're trying to come down, and you try to prevent them from coming back down, right? And I do think the air dashes, both for the defenders and for the attacker, it could be very interesting. How the sharking game, trying to make sure they don't come down and so on. I think this change could be very interesting. It could mean that we get very exciting sharking play. That's what I'm hoping for. Regarding L cancel, I honestly don't care too much. Sure, for a game like Melee, I prefer having it than not having it, but it's not really something that is like too close to heart. The combo control with air dashes, I'm trying to be open-minded. It's hard to say exactly how much you will be able to optimize everything before actually getting a chance to play the game, but hopefully the air dashes gives us even more options than fast fall in that regard. But I will be skeptical but open-minded. In terms of landing lag, I think it could be great or it could be bad. Basically what I'm trying to say is if you have always 10 frames of landing lag after the dash, which is not too much or anything, but I think the faster option, it would be overall probably more nice if the faster option is also the one that has like either a similar amount of lag or less lag in many scenarios. I mean, that might sound weird in a sense, but basically what I'm trying to say is that I think faster gameplay is often more fun for me to play with, and it's often more fun for spectators as well. So I think like if air dashes would have significantly more lag than just falling down, to me that probably would be less fun to play with and less fun to spectate, I imagine. So the landing lag, it could be great here, but it also could be not too good. So yeah, again, we'll kind of have to wait and see. And I know I do say that quite a bit, but like it's very hard to judge these things without actually playing the game. And based on the gameplay I have seen so far, it looks fun, so I'm trying to stay open-minded. So now once we have gone over the 2 changes, I guess it's time for me to tell. It was in one of those Discord messages from the developer. You could see that it was actually mentioned tap jumping is not going to be in this game. And that's the one thing that I was implying earlier on in this video. So basically I've done tap jumping at least to some degree ever since I was a little kid and played Smash 64 for the first time. However, how much I've done it in Smash games have changed drastically over the years. Everything from using it every single time in Smash 64 onto using it in certain situations, all the way up to Smash Ultimate. So for me personally, that's going to be a little bit of the tough one, but I mean, of course, we can learn it, we will learn it. But random little fact, a lot of people that play the newer Smash games don't even use tap jump period and turn it off. but I'm always one of the people, you know, that enjoy using tap jump in some key scenarios. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for this video, guys. Please let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about these changes? Do you guys think they are for the better? Do you think they are for the worse? And also in the next video, we are gonna go over 2 more changes. 2 changes that are arguably even bigger. So make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.